sweetest potatoes. So today we'll be studying about the classification of chromatography. So before going into that, let us know a little bit about the optimization of the sample, and how do you optimize so that you get a proper result. So resolution time and elution time are like very important dependent variables for optimization, and the goal of optimization is to achieve a complete separation of compound in minimum time. So if your resolution is very good, then optimization consists of saving the time for analysis, and this can be done. One way you can optimize is by using a shorter column where a mixture of compounds, or you can use a selective detector so that it can detect desired components. And for different types of chromatography, different optimization is done, and the optimization can be more or less rapid. And it is also seen that for gas liquid chromatography it is easier to optimize than the liquid chromatography, and we'll be going into details about the different types of chromatography and everything in the future slides. So here the diagram that you see is called as the chromatographer's triangle, which consists of these are the three important parameters which is needed, based on which you get a good result or good optimization, that is resolution, capacitation and speed. So the classification of chromatographic techniques are based on three things, that is physical nature of the phases, the different processes used, and also the physiochemical phenomenon. So now going into the classification based on the physical nature of the two phases. So you know those two phases, just to recap, that is the stationary phase and the mobile phase. So they're they're classified into three. So you have the liquid phase chromatography, which is also abbreviated as LC, and gas phase chromatography, GC. You have affinity chromatography and SFC, which is superficial fluid chromatography. So under each of these chromatography techniques, you have you have many subdivisions, which will go into like briefly we'll understand them. So coming to the first one, that is liquid phase chromatography, which is also abbreviated as LC. So the main thing what you have to remember in liquid phase chromatography is that the mobile phase is a liquid, and this is the oldest form of preparative methods, and it has all these different types of methods under it, subdivisions. In all these methods, the common thing is that the mobile phase is a liquid. The stationary phase, it slightly varies, so we'll be learning about each of them. So you have liquid solid phase chromatography, and there are two names. These are like the two names of the same technique, so I've mentioned both the names. So liquid phase chromatography, or it's also called adsorption chromatography. You have ion chromatography or ion exchange chromatography, abbreviated as LC. SEC, that is size exclusion chromatography, or it is also called as the molecular size filtration chromatography. And LLC, this liquid chromatography or partition chromatography. And you have liquid bound phase chromatography. So now we'll go into each of them. So coming to the first one, that is liquid solid phase chromatography. It is also called as the adsorption chromatography. Here, as I've already told you, the mobile phase remains as a liquid. So just remember, for all of them, the mobile phase is a liquid. But here, the stationary phase is a solid medium, which will adhere species by dual effect or physioption or chemiabsorption phenomenon. And the main parameter used here, the physiochemical parameter is used here is the adsorption coefficient. The adsorption coefficient, and you know, if you remember what I've told you, the chroma and graphene and all was invented by a person called Michael. So during Michael's time, this came into existence. So during that time, what they used was calcium carbonate or a thing called as inulin. So inulin is a finely powdered polymer of sugar. So this is all about liquid solid phase chromatography or adsorption chromatography. Now coming to the second one, which is the ion exchange chromatography or ion chromatography, abbreviated as LC. So here the mobile phase is a buffered solution, and the stationary phase is made up of ionic sites, which allow the exchange of mobile encounter ions with the ions of the same charge which is present in the sample. And the type of separation, it is based on ionic distribution of coefficient. So it is based on the ionic distribution of coefficient, and it was developed by a person called Cohen. And there is reversible exchange of ions takes place in the solution, which are electrostatically bound to the support. And there are ion exchanges. There are two types of ion exchanges which are present. So just to have a recap, so you have something called as the cation and you have anion. So if it was in a class, I would have asked you guys, but here, and then you have cathode, and then you also have anode. So simple way to not get confused is that the cation has a plus sign in it. So cations are positive, so anions are negative. And these anions, whereas the cathode is negatively charged, and the anode is positive. So the cations will go and bind to the cathode, and the anions will go and bind to the anode. So based on this phenomenon, so in this ion chromatography, there are two exchanges. You have anionic exchanger as well as cationic exchanger. So here, and the attraction between them is by electrostatic attraction between the oppositively charged ions. So for example, if you take anionic exchanger, so anionic exchanger is positively charged, so the negative ions will come and interact with the stationary phase, and the reverse is for the cationic exchanger. So this is all about ion exchange chromatography. And now coming to the third one, that is size exclusion chromatography, which is also called as molecular size gel filtration chromatography. Again, just remember that all this have the mobile phase as a liquid, because it comes under LC, that is gas liquid chromatography, right? Yeah. So here the stationary phase in this one, it is made up of pores, and the dimensions are selected based on the function of the species which has to be separated. And they use selective permeability at molecular level, hence the same name. It's also called as molecular gel filtration chromatography. And the mobile phase is either aqueous or organic solutions, and this is based on the parameter. It is the separation is based on the distribution coefficient or the diffusion coefficient. And what happens here is that the macromolecules, which are smaller in size than the pores, so the smaller macromolecules, they get entrapped in the pores and they move very slowly, whereas the bigger ones, they'll travel through the pore and they will elute faster. So thus based on the molecular weight, relative molecular weight, the separation of the macromolecules take place in this type. Now going to the next one, which is LLC, which is liquid chromatography, also called as partition chromatography. Here the stationary phase is immobilized on a liquid on inert porous material. So the only role of the stationary phase is to provide a mechanical support. And for immobilizing liquid, what you do is that there is an oldest method which is called as impregnation. So impregnation is done in order to put it on the porous material on the stationary phase. But now this method is not done. It is abandoned because there is a big risk of washing the column, like it is called as bleeding, because the column also, when you add the mobile phase which is a liquid, the column also goes with it. So that is why this thing is not used now. And then you also have liquid bond phase chromatography. Here the stationary phase is a liquid polymer. Here it is a liquid polymer, and it is immobilized by covalent bonding to a mechanical support. And the quality of the separation, it depends on something called as the partition coefficient between the two phases. So now coming to the second type. So this completes the first type, that is the liquid phase chromatography. Now coming to the second type, that is gas phase chromatography, which is also called as GC. Here the main thing you have to remember, so there the mobile phase was liquid, here the mobile phase is phase is a inert gas. And it again, there are two types. One is called as the gas liquid chromatography, and then the gas solid chromatography. So in gas liquid chromatography, the inert phase is a gas, the stationary phase is immobilized on a liquid by impregnation or binding it to the inert surface of the column. And it is this thing is also commonly called as just GC, that is gas chromatography. And here what happens is that the sample, you have to bring the sample to vapor state. The sample has to be brought to a vapor. You have to evaporate it so that it will come to a vapor state. And this was given this was introduced in the year 1941 by two people, that is Martin and Sinch. Suggested that what they did is, instead of like the previous method, instead of using liquid, replace the mobile phase by gas, so that the separation will be good. And here the separation parameter which is used is the partition coefficient. The partition coefficient K is used. So you have the partition coefficient is the main parameter which is used. So what is this partition coefficient? So partition principle is that when a solute is allowed to equilibrate between two equal volumes of two immersible liquids, the ratio of the concentration of the solute in the phases at a given temperature is referred to as the partition coefficient. And the partition coefficient is given as K. So it is based on this principle. And then you have the second one, that is the gas solid chromatography. Here the stationary phase is a porous solid like graphite or silica or alumina or silica or alumina, and the mobile phase is a gas. And it is very effective in separation of molecules which have a very low boiling point. And the parameter which is used here is adsorption. So adsorption coefficient. So in the first one, the partition coefficient is the parameter, and in the second one, adsorption coefficient is the parameter. So now coming to the next one, that is the supercritical fluid chromatography. So here the mobile phase is a fluid which is at a supercritical state. So what do you mean by the supercritical state? So for example, if you take carbon dioxide, so the carbon dioxide which is at 50 degrees Celsius, and which has more than 150 bar or 15 MPa. So this is referred to as the supercritical state for carbon dioxide. So for these type of molecules, you use this technique, and the stationary phase is a liquid or a solid. And what this technique, it's a new technique, so it combines both the advantages of both the liquid as well as the gas chromatography's advantages are combined together, and this technique is used. And then you also have something called as the affinity chromatography. So what is this affinity chromatography? So the affinity chromatography, you are yet to study about enzymology and all that. That is about how, and the enzymes will bind to a substrate, an antigen will bind to an antibody. So this principle is used here. So in affinity chromatography, it utilizes the specificity of an enzyme for its substrate, like, or a receptor to its agonist, or an antigen to a antibody. So based on the substrate analog and a substrate for its enzyme separation, or you can also make substrate analogs like this, which are very similar. Like you have a specific enzyme, so you make a substrate analog which is very similar to your enzyme, like similar to the substrate, so that it will go and bind to it and you can separate them. So the substrate analog is coupled to the gel matrix and cellular suspension is allowed to pass through it, and the enzyme, which is very specific for the substrate analog, it will bind to it and it will become immobile. So the substrate will be there, the analog whichever is there, it will go and bind, and the rest of the compounds will get eluted, but the compound which you need to be separated will go and bind to the column. And here in this technique, that is the affinity chromatography, the resolution power is very high. So before going, so this is all about the classification. So we'll also look at a flow chart which gives like a brief idea about the classification and everything. So before going into that, based on this technique, the chromatography is of two types. One is plane as well as column. So what do you mean by plane? So plane, it's based on the stationary phase is coated on a plane surface. So when the stationary phase is coated on a plane surface, it is called as planar, or it is called as planar type of chromatography. So in that, again, you have paper and thin layer. So in paper, the stationary phase is coated on the cellulose fibers of the paper, whereas in thin layer they are coated on plastic or glass. For example, in thin layer you have like silica. Like for example, if you take silica for separating, you coat the silica on a glass slide. So something of that sort is thin layer. And then you have column. So column means that the stationary phase is coated on a glass or a plastic. It is the stationary phase is coated on a glass or a plastic column. So once you understand this, the next slide will be easier. So this is the whole thing about this is a flowchart which gives everything about the classification of chromatography. So here you can see a lot of things, that is the nature of the mobile phase, the stationary phase, separation phenomenon, the technique, and the name of the chromatographic method. So you have three, that is gas chromatography, and then the liquid, and also the separation phenomenon, like the type of coefficients which are used, like partition, adsorption, and all. And then in solid phase chromatography, you can see the different techniques which we already studied, that is absorption, ion exchange, exclusion, affinity, and the technique, like just as I previously explained, is it either column or it is planar. And finally, in the end, you can see the name of the chromatographic methods, and this is the based on the different technique, and this is the parameter or the parameters which is used for the separation. And here you have the stationary phase, the different stationary phase which is present. So you can just have a look at this so that you know the variety or the different types of chromatographic methods and the principle based on which they separated. And in future semesters, you'll be studying about each of these different types of chromatography in detail. But for now, we just have to know an overview or a picture of all the different types of chromatography. So with this, this comes to an end of this chapter. And I would like to thank you guys for being patient, and hopefully I've listened to the previous videos. If you have not, I have linked it in the description below. And I would like to leave you with this, that is, have clarity, endurance, and momentum to keep you going this hard times. Thank you. So until next time, stay tuned. And these are the references which I've used. I've used 3 books. These are the 3 books: Wilson Walker, Upadhyaya, and as well as Chemical Analysis Instrumentation book. So thank you.